Yeah, no. I could hear the alarm outside before I even came into the workshop. I don't know what's going on. I got a call from Bill as well. Apparently he got notified. Yep, I'm gonna check it out. Yep, I'll be careful. Okay, all right, thanks, buddy. Maybe somebody's after the Husqvarna cams, but that's a different alarm. That's a totally different alarm. I don't know what it is. Hey guys, we're supposed to be having an unboxing. What's going on with the alarm and the strobe light and everything? Oh, your niece and nephew heard about my trip to South Bend, Indiana, and the fact that I brought back a bunch of those 160-year-old bricks for a fundraiser to benefit the History Museum down in South Bend, Indiana, and they wanted to check a brick out. So they went into the restricted area and they set off the alarm. Yes, Dr. Singer, I have an alarm on there because they're priceless historical artifacts. These bricks, and we're going to use them to help raise money to help the good folks down at the History Museum. So yeah, we got them alarmed. All right, let me see what I can do. Hello? Oh yeah, thank you for checking. This is, oh yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, thanks for calling. No, everything is fine. Everything is fine. You do not need to dispatch any squad cars to check on the alarm. I got it covered. The code word? Oh, shoot, what was the code word? Hold on a second, let me think about it. Yeah. Chocolate chip. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay, let me see if I can get the alarm reset. And if anything else happens, I'll reach out to you guys and let you know. But we're okay. We're okay. Someone just went into a restricted area. Okay. Thanks, Officer Dunn. I appreciate it. Yep. All right. Well, we got the strobe light off anyway. Hold on a second. Thank goodness, got the alarm off too. Okay guys, now I know that you get curious and everything about new things that come to the workshop, but you just created a lot of craziness because of your curiosity. And I get that you're little people and you're curious. Why wouldn't you be? And you're so doggone cute. How can I even get mad at you? I just can't. But yeah, that's one of those bricks from that incredible Singer cabinet factory down in South Bend, Indiana. And yes, it's even older than the king himself. 160 years old. Okay, yeah, let's change the mood because this is supposed to be kind of an upbeat, fun week. We're getting ready for New Year's. We're getting ready. Hey guys, I didn't even see you back there. Hello, Your Majesty. No one's messing with your cams in the Husqvarna vault. That was a different alarm, Your Majesty. We're all good here. Just Dr. Singer's niece and nephew got a little bit curious. And oh well. Okay, so let's change the mood up now. Let's put on some fun music. We'll just totally forget that this happened and we'll move right into this unboxing, okay? So let me get some music going and we'll change up the mood here. Have a little bit of fun. How's that sound? All right. Yeah, well, yes, Mr. Bean, I can turn the lights on. But let's put on some other lights first to recognize that we are almost on a new year. Yes. Ho, 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 yeah. Happy almost New Year, you guys! Happy New Year, Majesty! Happy New Year, Captain Smith, Herr Obermeister, Mr. Bean. Strange little nephew and niece that set off the alarm. Happy New Year, guys. Dr. Singer, hey, let's get some lights on. Yes, you guys can dance. Okay, hold on. Holy cow, you guys are vibrating. What's up? Yes, it is a New Year's kind of party, but it's more of an unboxing than it is a New Year's party. But okay, all right, go ahead, do your thing. Do your turn. You guys aren't going to do like body surfing or anything, are you? Nice turn, you guys. Well done, well done. All right, let's get some lights on. Yeah, that is a cool tune. Very cool tune. All right, let's move you guys to a safe place. And we will start to jump into this unboxing after all of that unplanned excitement. Good dancing, by the way, Mr. Bean. Good dancing. Really good dancing. So, if you're brand new to this channel and you're going, okay, what's up with all the craziness and about this talk of this brick and everything, you'll want to check out the premieres that I just released documenting my trip down to South Bend, Indiana. And while down in South Bend, I had a chance to make acquaintances with a number of great folks at the History Museum, and had a chance to tour the Oliver Mansion, also known as Scotia Home, which is a Scottish village. That name is a Scottish village that is related to the original J.D. Oliver, the founder of the Oliver Company and such. And had a chance to go through the Studebaker plant and all that kind of stuff. But the most interesting thing that happened on that trip was the opportunity to check out the original building, one of the original buildings, I should say, that came on the scene right around the 1860s. And their whole mission was to make incredible, ornate, I mean, just drop-dead gorgeous cabinets for Singer sewing machines to be distributed around the world. And at one time, about 3/4 of the sewing machine cabinets that were being used around the world and distributed were all being made at the factory locations in South Bend, Indiana. They were producing about 2 million a year, 10,000 a day. And while I was there, I had the opportunity to check out that plant. It's the only one still standing. and also met a gentleman there that is kind of the keeper of the keys. And we became fast friends. And he took me on an inside tour of the Singer factory as well, a limited space that we were able to get into. And then before leaving South Bend, I was able to gather up a number of these historic bricks like you're looking at right now that were made in the South Bend, Indiana, specifically to construct this factory that made all of these incredible cabinets. Incredible cabinets. And so my plan now is to use these bricks in conjunction with the milestone that we're going to be hitting real soon on this channel of reaching 10,000 subscribers. And then we're going to do a giveaway. And I talked about either giving away a Scottish machine because J.D. Oliver, the original founder of the Oliver Companies, was from Scotland originally. So I thought that would be fun. But then when I toured the mansion with Skylar and we got all the way to the top floor and we had a chance to peek into that sewing room, and I saw what a family of this means, almost unlimited resources, very wealthy family, and what machine should they pick to use in their household, their very exclusive household, their mansion, but a 201-2. So I gave it more thought then, and I thought, well, why don't I leave two options open here? Why don't I look at for that 10,000 subscriber giveaway, which is going to be centered on a fundraising effort to help the folks down in South Bend, Indiana at the History Museum. Why don't I look at giving away one of two machines, either a Scottish machine, which will be unnamed at this point, but could be a 222K. So that's kind of a question mark on that side. But on the other side, give an absolute certainty to the winner that gets picked out of the hat. Because again, if you donate $100 to the History Museum down in South Bend, Indiana, you get entered in this contest where you're either going to receive a very, very cool, fully restored Scottish machine, which could be a 222K, or for sure, if you don't want to roll the dice and go with an uncertain, okay, I'm going to get a great Scottish machine. It could be a 222K, but it could also not be a 222K. Then you could pick on the other side, curtain number 2, where I can tell you absolutely for sure the other option, if you don't pick a Scottish machine, is to say, okay, I don't want to go with curtain number 1 because it's not for sure. But I know behind curtain number 2, Scott's going to give away a fully restored 201-2, the Rolls Royce of Singer sewing machines, just like the Olivers used in their mansion. So there you go. If you're kind of uneasy about, well, I know Scott's machines are the best in the world, and I know it's going to be a fabulous Scottish machine, and it could be a 222K, but it's not for sure, then go with curtain number 2 and say, I'm going to go for the 201-2 without a doubt, because that is for sure. You're going to have an option. You can either pick curtain number 1, a Scottish machine, could be a 222K, could not be a 222K, or curtain number 2, a 201-2 fully restored, the Rolls Royce of Singer sewing machines, the same machine that the Olivers used in their mansion there in South Bend, Indiana. And if you haven't seen that premiere yet, where initially I walked by it, the room is, this little sewing room off of the servants' quarters is kind of dark. And I misidentify the machine as a 1591. Yeah, I blew it. I walked by there with Skylar and I'm kind of looking into the room, and right away I look at that potted motor and I think 1591. 1591. And we chat a little bit more. We're talking a little bit more about the servants' quarters. We're getting ready to head back downstairs. And something just causes me to pause. Let me come into this shot with this brick. You're going to get sick of seeing the brick, as cool as the brick is. 160-year-old brick, folks. But you're going to get sick of looking at that brick pretty quick if I keep jabbering on. So, I'm too tall. Hold on a second. Yeah, if you haven't seen that premiere yet, Skylar's really tall too. She's like 5'8", I think she said. Very tall gal. So, I'm still too tall. All right, I'm going to squunch. So we go past that sewing room, and we've already gone through the rest of the mansion pretty much. This is the end of the road as far as this private tour that Skylar gave us of this incredible Oliver mansion, also called Scotia Home, which again is a small village in Scotland where W.K. Oliver came from originally. So anyway, we go past the sewing room, and I just glance in there. You know, I'm the expert, and I go 1591, and I kind of, you know, talk a little bit about it. It's the predecessor of the 201-2, and then I do like a reverse, a rewind, and I'm going, which interestingly, the song we just listened to after the alarms were shut off and everything was called Rewind, which is tied to a new year. You know, we're always looking back. I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that. Blah, 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 blah. But I do a little rewind, and I step back there, and I reach into my pocket, and I pull out my flashlight, and I shine the light into that slightly dark room. And all of a sudden, I see that there's no tension control on the faceplate. I see that there's a light assembly on the front of the machine, and it was like, oops. And so I correct myself then, and I go, no, this is a 201-2. And I explain also to Skylar, who had no idea, that the significance of this 201-2 is that it's the Rolls Royce of Singer sewing machines. I was the first one in the world to coin that phrase almost 10 years ago. I think it is 10 years ago now. And I explained that this was used by Rolls Royce back in 1948 to around 1952 to sew the interior leather panels of their luxury cars. The Rolls Royce, I mean, that's like the cream of the crop. That's like the cream of the cream of the crop. That's like the top of the cream of the crop. I mean, it's like one of the best cars in the world. Although Bentley and others would go, yeah, I don't know about that, but whatever. But at any rate, the point is that with this milestone quickly approaching, we only have a little bit over 200 subscribers to go. And we still, even after all the ramping up and growth that we've had, we're still averaging around 200 new subscribers a month. So I'm guessing that we're probably going to hit that milestone in January. And what we're going to do then is we're going to try to raise some money for the History Museum down in South Bend, Indiana. And again, if you didn't see that premiere, you need to check it out. I'm down by the bay. I've just gotten back from South Bend, and I'm talking about this idea that I had because those folks were so hospitable down there and so kind and so generous with their time. I just felt inspired to want to do something to help them out because Christy Dunn, the one that helped to orchestrate a lot of this stuff to make my trip possible, explained that during this pandemic, there's been a closure of about 30% of the museums across the country. We're not talking about a temporary closing because, oh my gosh, I'm going to get COVID. We're talking about closing the doors permanently. And as I thought about that more and more on my drive back to Wisconsin, you know, you're sitting in a car for 5.5, 6 hours. You got some time to think. I'm thinking, I don't want that to happen to the South Bend Museum. It's such a great location. It's co-located with the Studebaker National Museum, and I did a couple little clips showing my quick walkthrough of that, and it really was a fast walkthrough of the Studebaker Museum. I wish I'd been able to take more time, but that was on the eve of my departure, and I wanted to get by the Singer plant one more time to shoot some video there as well, which I did. But it was boom, 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 this car, that car, blah, 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 really, really fast. If I return there, which I probably will, because the keeper of the keys of the Singer plant, Anthony, has invited me to come back in the summertime, and he's going to get me up onto the 3rd floor of that Singer building. That is the only Singer building standing in South Bend, Indiana any longer. Again, established back in around the 1860s and closed around 1955. But the whole idea of hitting this milestone of 10,000 subscribers, that's huge for a niche market area, a space like vintage sewing machines. If a channel hits 10,000, that's saying something. So we're doing something right. We do a lot of stuff wrong too, but we do hopefully more right than wrong. And folks love, I think, the fact that I inject a lot of fun and humor and unexpected things as well to make vintage sewing machines so much fun to learn about. And that's our classroom setting, right? Which, boy, am I belated. So the whole contest idea, when we hit 10,000 subscribers, sometime in January probably, unless things slow way down, then we might be hitting it in February. But is I want to do a special contest giveaway where, again, behind door number 1, there's going to be a Scottish machine, which could be a 222K. Behind door number 2, I can tell you absolutely for sure, if you don't want to go with door number 1 or curtain number 1 or whatever, and you want to go with a sure thing, behind curtain number 2 is going to be a fully restored 201-2, the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines, the same machine that this very exclusive Oliver family, again, a family with boundless resources, they could have gotten any machine they wanted in the world, and they settled on a 201-2. That says something, doesn't it, about the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines? And so that's going to be behind door number 2 if you want to go with a sure thing. Otherwise, if you're a gambler, I don't mean a gambler, but if you like taking chances, then you could always go with door number 1, because once that person is picked out of the hat and they say, okay, I'm going to go with a sure thing, I'm going to go with door number 2. If I open up door number 1 and there sits a 222K, you know what? It's a toss-up. I mean, the average person is going to be just as happy to get a Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines as they are a 222K, but there are some people that have always wanted a 222K. They're very exclusive. I mean, there were only, over the period of 8 years of production, and the only place they made them was in Kilbowie, Scotland. They only made about 110,000 of these machines. That's the size of some production groups for other class machines. That just tells you how exclusive it is. And it's like one, what would it be? 10 times 100, 10,000. Yeah, I mean, it's like 1/30th the size of the production of the Singer Featherweight 221, the standard one. I mean, that just tells you how exclusive the 222K is. That's why some people might say, oh gosh, if I pick number 1, I'll get a great Scottish machine, no doubt, because Scott has prepared it, but it may not be a 222K. But that's going to be up to you to decide if you're ultimately the one, after all the donations come in to benefit the History Museum. And if your name is drawn out of the hat, I'm going to ask Christy Dunn and her team down there, those folks down at the History Museum, to have all of the names of the people that made donations basically in some sort of a box or a hat or something like that. And one of those folks down in South Bend, Indiana is going to pull out the winning name. And then that person will have to pick either curtain number 1 or curtain number 2. Curtain number 2 is for sure. Same machine that the Olivers had in their mansion, a 201-2. Curtain number 1, might be, might not be, might be, might not be, might be. You get the idea. So with that, I just want to emphasize again the significance of these 160-year-old bricks, which was in my car and is really, really cold right now. But anyone that makes a donation to the History Museum in South Bend, Indiana, of $100 is not only going to get entered into the contest where their name could be the one that's drawn out of that hat to be able to make a choice of either curtain number 1 or curtain number 2. Automatically, you make a $100 donation, you're going to get entered into that contest to win either a really awesome Scottish machine, or if you want to pass on curtain number 1, curtain number 2, for sure, a Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines, the 201-2, just like the Olivers used in their mansion. Again, this is a family, I mean, they were like millionaires, and they could have picked any machine. They picked that machine. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise at all. But along with that, if you make a $100 donation, the significance of these bricks that Dr. Singer's niece and nephew, they set off the alarm. You saw it at the beginning, blah, blah, blah. You're also going to get one of these 160-year-old bricks. And I can tell you, I was curious after my visit to South Bend, Indiana. I was curious about, the Studebaker National Museum. Do they do some sort of a brick thing? Yeah, they do. In order to get a brick from the Studebaker Museum, and I don't even think it's not even original. It's like a replica brick where they'll put something on the brick for you, that sort of thing. Minimum donation to get a brick from the Studebaker Museum, which is not 160 years old, is not from the original Studebaker factory. You're talking like about $250. And if you want a real fancy brick from the Studebaker National Museum, and I'm not begrudging them, I'm just letting you know the incredible opportunity that I'm offering through this contest. If you want a real fancy brick from the Studebaker Museum, talking almost $2,000. So minimum low end, 150, 200 bucks. You gotta purchase a brick, all the way up to about $2,000. In this contest, you're going to get an original brick from the Singer Cabinet Factory that was located in South Bend, Indiana, that opened up in the 1860s and closed right around 1955. And then after it was closed, I mentioned this in the premiere, if you attended it, there was a huge fire that gutted out and destroyed a lot of that building that then had been vacant for probably around 5-6 years or something like that. But you're not going to get a replica brick. You're going to get an original brick from that building, 160 years old. And all you need to do is make a donation of $100 to the History Museum in South Bend, Indiana. Christy Dunn is the contact if you need to know how to do that. Once I officially announce that we've hit 10,000 subscribers and the contest is a go. We're rolling. We're going for it. So my point is this, that if you want to get a brick from the Studebaker National Museum, which is a great museum, co-located with the History Museum. I mean, you literally walk past the front security desk from the hallway over by the History Museum side to another corridor right in the same foyer, basically, and you're walking towards the Studebaker National Museum. So they're right next to each other. They're connected directly. So it's a fabulous museum, no doubt about that. But if you want one of their bricks, you better get ready to write a check for anywhere from $200 up to $2,000, and you're not going to get entered into a contest to win a Studebaker. You're not going to get entered into any contest. You're going to get a brick. But with the contest that we're going to do when this channel hits 10,000 subscribers, you're going to benefit a great organization that was so kind to me and so hospitable when I went down there in preparing artifacts for me to examine, which again, you can check out that premiere. We're kind enough to designate the curator of the Oliver Mansion, Kopscha Schuyler, to give me a private tour that I could take you vicariously on a private tour of the mansion, getting into areas of that mansion that the general public never ever would have access to. That's how nice these folks were to me when I went down there. And it wasn't because they were expecting something in return. It's just because they're good folks down in Indiana, in South Bend. And so that's why I was inspired to say, I'm going to do something nice for them. And I wanted to build the entire contest coming up when we hit 10,000 subscribers around benefiting the History Museum down in South Bend, Indiana. And you give them $100, you get entered to win either a fabulous Scottish machine, or for sure you could pick straight away a Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines, the 201-2. That's a given. The same machine that the Olivers used in their mansion. Plus, you receive a 160-year-old brick, a piece of history of that incredible Singer Cabinet Factory that was producing 2 million cabinets a year, 10,000 a day. A piece of history. How do you beat that? You're benefiting a great organization like the History Museum down in South Bend, who, as you saw through those premieres, gave us access to areas and showed us hospitality that you would expect them to show towards some dignitary, some royalty that came into their midst. And they treated us as an honored guest, both when we were there looking at the artifacts and also when we toured that incredible mansion as well. So rally around me on this, would you? Let's make this big. Let's make this huge and have lots of folks step up and step out of the shadows and say, yeah, absolutely. They treated Scott and all of us, because we're all part of this same cow country family, they treated us all like VIPs. We're going to we're gonna pay them back, you know, through a donation. Plus, then gonna get an awesome historical brick, and also get entered into an amazing contest to win one of Scott's amazing, fully restored, priceless treasures. So there you go. There you go. I've done my shameless plug saying get ready for it. We're really close to this giveaway. And you don't have to write a story. You don't have to write a creative piece. All you need to do is make a donation to the History Museum down in South Bend, Indiana. You're automatically entered. You automatically then, once you make that $100 donation, get one of these historic 160-year-old bricks. Plus, you get entered into a contest to win either an amazing Scottish machine, which could be a 222K, or to win automatically, if you're the one that's drawn out of the hat, if you're the one that's picked at the end of the contest, you could also just say, I'm going to pass door number 1 and go for door number 2, which is a sure thing, and get the same machine that the Olivers used in the mansion, a 201-2, the Rolls-Royce of Singer sewing machines, prepared exclusively for me as the winner, if you are the winner, by Scott in his workshop. I mean, there's no better machines in the world, folks. There just aren't. And I would love to get my hands on the Olivers 201-2 and fully restore it for the History Museum and have a sew-off underneath that needle in that sewing room in the mansion that was done here at the workshop. Wouldn't that be, oh my gosh, woo! That would be the cat's meow. That would be the cat's meow. I'm going to have to talk to either Brian, the executive director, or to Christy Dunn and see if there's any way at all that they would entrust that priceless artifact to me. You already know where I'm going with this, but that would be cool. That would be super duper cool. And if not, I could even restore it there, right there in the mansion. That would be super cool too. Oh, I'm getting excited. This is going to be just, I mean, we've had some amazing contests. You know, the contests from dating way back when we were down in Kissimmee, Florida. The contest that we also did that was based in Sweden and Norway for Hans. And now this contest. This is going to be, I think this is going to be one of the best contests that we've ever put on. I really do. So, at any rate, I hope you'll ramp up to this. I hope you'll ramp up to this with me and really, really step out of the shadows to benefit these folks and for all the other goodies that you get with this as well, including a 160-year-old brick. And many of these bricks that I was able to gather up are even stamped. These were specially made for this Singer plant and were actually handmade. Each one of these bricks was handmade right in Indiana. So not only a historical piece, but handcrafted. How cool is that? Right? All right, let's get to this unboxing. Finally, you're probably saying, let's do the unboxing. Let's do it. All right, let me pick out some more New Year's type music so that we can get in the feeling and the mood for a brand new year after this COVID pandemic stuff we've been dealing with, right? All right, so let's put on a more classic New Year's song. And we'll start with instrumental version and then we'll move to a choral version. So most of you probably know this tune. Okay, thank you for your patience as I was passionately and probably with some degree of rambling was communicating all of the opportunities that are coming up on this channel for you to help folks do good and also win an amazing machine and also a 160-year-old brick. But these two boxes that we're going to open today, the one on the left came from Nova Scotia, Canada. The one on the right, I think, also came from Canada as well. And they are a special purchase that I made with a special person in mind. So let's get to this and see if we can find out what's going on. What is this all about? Scott bought something for someone else? That doesn't surprise us. He's a real generous guy. But what's in these boxes? What is in these boxes? All right, let's go after the one on the right first. Or should we go after the one on the left? Type in the chat whether you think we should go for the one on the left or on the right. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get a drink of water real quick. Come on, type away, type away. Left box or right box? All right, I'm even getting some text messages here saying right box, right box, right box, right box. So I guess we'll go with the right box. All right, now for the vocal version of that classic Auld Lang Syne, or something like that. All right, the right box first. Feels like we have enough space on the top. I'm going to go ahead and set my blade so it doesn't cut real deep.
Old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and all lang syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take.
And yes, this is the song they play at the very end of the movie, that classic movie. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, Jimmy Stewart's in it, guys. Type in the chat if you know what movie I'm talking about. All right, you should have gotten that. That was so easy. It's a Wonderful Life, right? How many of you probably, I mean, if you're like me, that's like a movie you look forward to every year, and even if you have a copy of it on DVD, you still probably watch it on TV. Isn't it the reason that all of us flock to the theaters? And after this pandemic, and there are some theaters that are opening up already. They've got new air systems, they've got social distancing, all that. And we love being in the company of others and enjoying the dynamic of that performance, of that presentation. It's why people go to operas, why they go to concerts, why they go to all these different places, to the theater, because they want to be in the company of others. And you really do, you almost are stimulated to react by others as well. You hear laughter and it prompts your laughter. You see tears and it prompts your tears. And that's the beauty of going to a live performance. So I can't wait for the theaters to open up again. So who knows, maybe at New Year's next year, which hopefully 2021 will have been a much better year than 2020 with regard to the pandemic and all things like that. And we'll have the chance to sit down in a theater together and maybe watch It's a Wonderful Life in black and white or some other classic movie. I think that's the good stuff, don't you? Well, I'm going to hammer you with Auld Lang Syne or whatever, because I've got another version of it. Apparently, YouTube, i.e. Google, loves that particular song, because here's another version. still have the light off. That helps a little bit. Well, let's see what I purchased with somebody in mind. And this is going to need some work. It's going to need some restoration. It's going to need some of my magic. How dramatic is that? Turned away from the camera. I can see exactly what it is. Facing you, all you're seeing is paper. Take away the paper, Scott. Okay. There, I did it. More paper. Okay, hold on. And again, this machine is going to need some parts. It's going to need some of my restorative magic. Now, any of you that know anything about anything already know that this is obviously a Singer Featherweight 221. And I purchased it long enough ago that I don't remember if it's a 221-1 or a 221, but it's a 221. Matter of fact, this arrived at the workshop. This arrived at the workshop all the way back. Give you an idea of how busy I've been. All the way back in October. October 26th is when this first box arrived. And I can officially tell you right now that this is going to be a featherweight that I am going to be restoring, and it's going to be a long project. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while because it needs parts. It doesn't have a motor. It's missing the top cap on top that goes over the worm gears. It's missing a throat plate. Gosh, it's probably missing a bunch of stuff, but eventually it's going to be finalized. Eventually it's going to be premiered. Eventually the owner that I purchased this for, unbeknownst to this individual, is going to be shipped to them as a special thank you and a special gift to... I'm going to get a drink of water before I announce. And pick another song. This one is called New Year's Anthem. I've never heard of New Year's Anthem. Have you? Sounds like the beginning of Mr. Rogers or something. Oh, okay, there we go. Now we're getting into it. May old acquaintance be forgotten. All right, I'm looking for a picture of... Oh, there we go. So I'm going to bring the camera up for just a moment. And bring the camera down. My phone keeps blacking out. You recognize that person? Well, she keeps going, wait, wrong way. Yes, that is Sunny. That's our Sunny. And that's my stupid phone going black again. So, this unboxing is to honor Sunny as a brand new moderator on my Facebook business page. And also a customer and a friend as well. I would put friend at the very top of that list. And she had mentioned recently to me, again, and I'm not saying that, again, like she's hinting. She just loves sewing machines, loves vintage machines. And a dream machine for her has been the Featherweight 221. It's been her dream machine. It just has. And so, way back in October, I already had her in mind, because I think when we were first chatting and the idea of her coming on board as a moderator, the excitement in her life, I mean, she's overcome and is overcoming cancer, as some of you already know, and just living a victorious life. She's engaged to a wonderful gentleman that has also gotten very involved with following my work now because of his love of this special lady. And I'm referring to Craig. Craig, you'll see Craig's name pop up oftentimes. And also when I officially announced her as a moderator, and it was ramping up to the interview that I did with her out in Pennsylvania via Facebook video chat. He piped on right away with that announcement on Facebook and said, basically this is my special, very special person. This is my. I think what he said is I'm a real big fan of this lady. That was his way of saying I love this lady. So I thought that was really a sweet thing to post. And but the point is, I feel incredibly blessed to have this entire team of moderators that are a talent pool that is just mind-blowing when you start to discover more about them, as you've had more of an opportunity to do that with Hans. I mean, a gentleman that lives in Norway, teaches at the university, has a PhD, owns a farm, and is really new in the vintage space, but is just a budding, beaming light of inspiration to get others excited about collecting vintage as well. And he's even done the crossover, unofficially, from being just exclusive Husqvarna Viking to collecting a number of Singer machines now, including Singer machines very much like the one you're looking at on screen right now. So Hans has become a good friend of mine, and really I think has been an inspiration to many of you as you've learned more about him. And some of you have even been following a lot of his posts that he does away from the Cow Country page as well, on his own Facebook page, posting beautiful shots of Norway and other things that he's doing, and just neat to follow that. And I really am glad that a number of you have elected to do that. But Bill as well, as we've learned more about him, the incredible restorations that he's done, even a full-size real steam locomotive, organs. He was on the stage with a famous person as a backup singer. And I'm not going to tell you who that is. You need to look it up on the Facebook page and find out for yourself. He was also involved with the Muppets, and actually the founder of the Muppets, in being involved with a lot of the stuff that they did as well, a lot of their success. And Sonny has a wealth of experience in the sewing space as well, has a diverse collection of sewing machines, does a diverse style of different sewing that as well. I don't know if that made sense or not, but she's a very talented sewer as well, and she brings a lot of that creative dynamic that us boys may not have at the same level as her, which is kind of cool. And yet she looks at herself and she goes, well, kind of like John Smith down in Florida, there's nothing special about me, I'm just Sonny. That's what makes you special, Sonny. And so to recognize that, I cued into something that you had as kind of a want, a need, a desire. And I want to make that become a reality for you. So once I get caught up, which may take a couple of months at least, with all the machines that are waiting to get my attention right now, I'm going to be working a private project of getting this Featherweight 221 fully restored as a gift to you, just to evidence how much we appreciate you being involved with what we're doing and contributing and jumping into the deep end of the pool right away and helping folks to get answers to their questions through the myriad of posts that come through the Cow Country Messenger all the time. And you've really been a trooper, and that's what this is about, this unboxing. So let me move this to the side, pick another song, and then we'll go to box number 2, which kind of ties into this as well. All right, what do we have? Oh, this is interesting. I wonder what this is about. This is called ammo. Ammo, like, grab the ammo, the enemy is here. But apparently ammo is somehow related to New Year's. Let's see. All right, let me move this very heavy 11-pound machine, and actually since it's missing a couple of parts, it's actually less than 11 pounds. We'll move this right over here by the boys. Myself enough space to work here. You guys keep an eye on that. That belongs to Sonny. It's not ready yet, but you guys keep an eye on it, okay? Let's get this other box over here. And this one again also came from Canada, from Nova Scotia. So let's see what's in here. And I hope I didn't mix up my boxes and open this up and find out it's totally something different, which could happen as busy as I've been with going into Indiana and all the other stuff. Yes, Sonny, I got you a black garbage bag. There it is. You know, I mean, can you ever have enough garbage bags? Although I can tell you, in the city of Oconto, they have embossed blue bags that you have to use. If you don't use their garbage bags, they won't pick up your trash. Dead serious. I don't think I have well, maybe I do have one down here. So I brought it up, I'll show you. They have big bags and small bags. And don't anybody write me about sending you one of my blue Oconto garbage bags, okay? So there you go. So if you live in the city of Oconto and you want your trash picked up, you got to have a blue stamped Oconto bag. And this is the big one that costs you $1. And then they have smaller ones that are 50 cents a piece. But let's just say that they make some good money off of our garbage. They really do. And it's, I think it's kind of a brilliant move to generate more revenue for a smaller city under 5,000. So, okay, all right. If you write me and you really, really want an Oconto garbage bag, I'll send you a small one. I'm not going to send you a big one. The big ones are $1 a piece, okay? I could go broke. I could go broke! But I'll send you a small one if you want one. I mean, I don't think you're going to put it up on your mantelpiece. It probably would melt anyway, but at any rate, yeah, we've got embossed garbage bags in Oconto. Don't hate us. Don't be jealous. You could always write your city, your mayor, your council, your whatever, and say, hey, why does Scott get embossed garbage bags and we don't? What's that about? And then they'll probably send the police over to check on you. They might. But at any rate, you can show them this premiere and then they won't think you're totally nuts. Okay, so let's try. Again, I typed in New Year's and it's coming up with Christmas Homecoming. So we just had Christmas. I guess we could listen to this, huh? Yeah. And the hint I'll give you on this box that we're about to open right here is that it also relates to Sunny, and it relates to what we already unboxed. Wow, that was a giveaway, right? I mean, that was like just pushing it and saying, here you go. You probably know what it is. If you do, type it in the chat. And don't type that it's a garbage bag, although we can see that right now, okay? Type in what you think is in this box in the chat if you would. Now I'm gonna get a drink of water while you're doing that. As we're listening to this beautiful Christmas Homecoming. And since this whole premiere kind of builds around very special person, a new year, and all of us make resolutions in the new year, right? Don't we? One of my resolutions is to find every opportunity to be a blessing to another and to be generous. So we're starting early. And since it is kind of a special occasion type premiere, yeah. This only goes on certain times. And this is a special premiere to honor Sunny. And I've already had opportunities in different ways to send things to Hans, to send things to Bill. So don't be concerned that I've forgotten those good guys either. Don't be concerned. All right, let's pick another song and then we'll finally pull this other thing. Oh, this is fun. Is this the same one? It probably is. Hold on a second. It's definitely not the same one. But this is a perfect song to do the final unveiling of this other item in the box. All right, no fussing. This is the first official dance that I've had during this premiere. All right, let's see what we... Whoa, I didn't remember doing this. Seriously? All the way from Nova Scotia. It's stuck in the box. Sorry, Sonny. I don't think we can get it out. No padding in the bottom. No padding! What's that about? Those doggone Canadians? Actually, I love my Canadian friends. But they did put padding around the outside. That's good. Alright, you probably know what this is, so just type it in the chat. No! Captain Smith, you can't guess and win anything. You're on the staff. Staff are exempt from winning. All right. I'm going to go to a different song called Everglow. Everglow sounds like a cleaning product, doesn't it? Having trouble getting that stain out? Try just a little bit of Everglow, and it will change your life. Plus, you don't have to buy a new couch, which, hey, that's pretty good. All right, here we go. Like I said, kind of related. I actually have another one of these already, so see which one works out best. All right, I've got to move you guys. Sorry, we got to test this out officially. Okay, guys, now put away your knives and other sharp objects and stuff. I'm going to be picking up Sonny's featherweight and putting it into this box. So don't, you especially, Reggie, you look like you're ready to leap into action there, buddy. All right, just chill, buddy. Chill. Yeah, seems to fit, doesn't it? Well, I'm not sure what you've resolved to do in this new year coming up, very, very shortly, but I hope it's also to find ways to show kindness, to be generous, and if you have the means and the opportunity to help someone's dream come true, then I hope you take advantage of doing that. Mr. Bean, you always get front and center. I don't know how you manage that, but, and I'm going to put your cousin's nephew's niece down here at the bottom. They're like the gargoyle guardians. No one would try to pass them unless they're totally out of their mind. All right, so what else do we have? Grut. Grut just doesn't seem like a good one to play. I think I'll skip that one. Why don't we end with a more traditional song? This plays for 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Let's give this a try. Oh, I could play that one too. That's true. Let's do the New Year's anthem. That actually runs less. Hold on a second. All right, this one. Here we go. Well, the boys and company, along with myself, would like to thank all of you that have stepped out of the shadows in 2020 during this crazy year that we've had and have taken that step of sending your machine to the workshop, or in some cases, your machines to the workshop to keep these guys out of trouble and to keep them busy, right? 'Cause that's what it's really about. You guys that set off the alarm, probably trying to steal a brick. I know you weren't stealing it. I'm just kidding. So, just again, thank you to all of you that made 2020 an incredible year for the workshop here in Oconto, Wisconsin. We've stayed real busy. We've had a chance to do a number of amazing restorations, and it's all because of you taking that step of packing that machine up or dropping that machine off so that we have an opportunity to do our magic. So with that, I wish you all a blessed new year and hope you've resolved to do some great things. Because every day in the workshop, we resolve to do great things here. So remember that quote that I love to give. Yesterday is history, tomorrow a mystery, but today is the present, which is why they call it the gift. Something like that. Take care. I know I messed up the last quote, Dr. Singer. Just shh, 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 shh. And thanks again to Sunny for stepping out of the shadows, being a great moderator. And now the journey begins in preparing this featherweight exclusively for you. Happy New Year! Yay! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Okay, we'll end with a party, you guys. I hear ya, I hear ya, I hear ya. Hold on. Yes, each of you can have a quick dance off. Absolutely. Hold on. How about you first, Mr. Pirate? I don't think we've ever seen you dance before. All right, you, Harrowermeister. I know you got it. How about you, Captain Smith? I know it's not dignified, but we're in a playroom, for goodness sakes. How about you, Reggie? Come on, Reggie, you got it. Yeah. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Ooh, nice moves, man. All right, stop it. I'm getting sick. Mr. Bean! Happy New Year, Dr. Singer.